Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So I am going to do a ring pour. So I was a little bit unsure what I was going to paint. I've been wanting to do another ring pour, but I didn't have one of my rectangle canvases. So I decided to use a square canvas and just do 2 rings instead of 4. And I may not swirl them this time. I may, depends how it looks as I go. So sometimes I have a rough plan in my head and sometimes I have a full plan. But today I'm just going to go with what I think is going to look cool. So what I am going to do is I'm going to put these cups that way and that way. So I'm going to put a little bit of blue at the bottom, light blue, in this one. If it's going to finish dripping, yep. And a bit of dark blue in the bottom of this one. Because I want them similar-ish, but not completely the same. And on... It's always easier if I pour from this. So I'm going to turn it around and pour some colour in from this side. So I hope I didn't pour too much in then. Got to remember the bottom, you always got to put a little bit less because that's going to be what comes out last. Now I'm going to go light blue in the cup that I did the dark blue. Drip. And dark blue in the cup I did the light blue. Then I'm going to spin my cup back around. And I'm going to do a layer of black. The black is a funny colour, always feels thick to me. And then I'm going to go some dark blue, because that's where I had the light blue. And then, oops, did I pour some over the edge of the cup then? No, I didn't. So I'm just going to continue to layer these, turn these around. Then some white. And then all I'm doing is just rotating some of these colours. Because I don't want everything completely even, I may actually put a bit of light blue over this dark blue. And some dark blue over the light blue, just kind of mixing it up a little bit. But I am trying to alternate and have colours mostly light and dark next to each other. So now I'm back to the white on this side. Then might go some light blue. It's just a matter of layering them. You don't have to have it any set or particular order. I'm just trying to make it so it actually looks a little bit like an assortment of rings, because I don't know how exactly many rings I'm going to get. I just thought if I do this, I'm putting colour in different spots to normal. and maybe it will look cool. Maybe it won't. It's hard to always know. I'm just doing a bit of fun. I'm going to put a little bit of white next to the black. Just got to be a little bit careful because you will get grey when you do this. But the colours are going to mix a bit anyway, so... And blue and grey don't look too bad. Pardon me. Let's go a bit of dark blue. I should rotate the cup. I may actually have to use up what's left. Oh, so these paints were 75 grams paint, 75 grams Australian floetrol, and about 5 grams of water. I think one colour I added a little bit more to, which might have been the dark blue, because it was much thicker than some of the other colours. I'm going to go the rest of the light blue now, or a fair bit of it. Yeah, I will go the rest of it. So this paint is quite thick, so hopefully it will keep its rings and lines quite well. And turn these back around and just use up the rest of the white. Yeah, so there's only floetrol, paint and a tad of water. With ring pours, you kind of have to have it just a little bit thicker than normal, just so the rings stay in shape. I'm actually not going to pour the... I'm going to keep the rest of that black because I may have to use it as a paint extender, flow extender. So I'm just going to double check that the record button is still on. Yep, that time is going. Okay. So as you can, I don't know if can you see inside those cups? See how there's kind of separate sides. So with this now, I poured from that side and that side. I'm going to pinch this side. So when I pour it, I'm going to get a bit of both. And see how this goes. I'm going to try and go. Let's put... Yeah, roughly about there and there, I think. I don't want it to flow over the edge too quickly, but at the same time, I don't want to have it too close to the middle. So, going down. I try and do my rings as slow as I can without the paint coming out wobbly, because when it starts to wobble you get that crooked lines. Just don't want the black to take over. I'm lifting the canvas up slightly so it doesn't go over the edge. So one reason I don't use a lot of black often is because of the way it does seem to take over a lot. Oh. Now I'm losing some paint over this edge. Now I'm going to get this one and pinch this too on that side. And now I'm going to do my second ring pour here. Sorry if my head is in camera. I try to keep my head above where I'm working so I can actually see what's going on with the ring. And I have to remember to breathe. I often hold my breath when I'm doing certain pours. I think it's because I concentrate so much. I forget I have to breathe. Okay, I'm going to put that there just as a flow extender. And here. Okay. So yeah, the black has decided it wants to be the dominant part of the pour again, which I did use less of the black because there's still some left in my cup over here. This mont marte black, because these are all mont marte paints, this mont marte black has been a little bit unusual lately. Not as happy with it as I was. The last couple of bottles I've got just seem to be bullies. Okay, not much came out of that. That was good. Not a lot in that either. Cool. Just wanted a bit more paint. Let me just get that over here. So this paint will mostly come off anyway. I'm just using it to help the paint flow. I don't have to have the flow extender absolutely perfect or even touching the pour. As long as it's close, not a lot will end up rolling over itself. You can do it all the way till it touches, but I don't feel I have to. Okay. Ah, now I can stand up and breathe and relax a little. So I'm just going to walk it a little bit to this corner. I want to go over the corners these corners first. Over and back. I lost that ring. Oh well. Over and back. Bring it back to that middle. Now, without losing my ring too much, I want to go over this corner and then come back down. And then all the way down to this corner. Go over and then come back. All right. Little bit more different than what I had planned in my head, but I actually like it. So I wasn't expecting this ring on this end where my hand is to go over all the way, but it did, and I actually don't mind that. It's given me that nice lines without actually having a ring all the way there. The problem was getting over that corner. So my other option could have been was to use the excess paint that I had to actually paint the corner completely. If I had painted this corner completely, I may not have had to go all the way over, but I actually don't mind because it's given me this nice effect. At the same time, I've got this one over here, and I've got blue lines that are running through the middle. Got some grey happening over here from the black and white mixing. I'm actually really pleased. I'm just checking all edges and making sure that they are covered. There is a lot of paint on here. My head's going to be in the way for a second. Alright. So there is a lot of paint on here, but that's cool. But you kind of need a fair bit of paint. You'd rather more than less. If you have not enough, then it's hard to stretch it. If you've got too much, you can always tip a bit extra off. If I wanted to, I could have tipped more off that end, but I will move the rings depending on where I tip them. I quite like this. This is quite nice. I'm actually really glad that I don't have the full ring, but I've got the lines that kind of come through, and over here I've got the full ring. It is very dark. There's a lot more black that has come through, so I'm going to have to increase my colours next time, my two colours and my white, by about 25% each, and reduce the black by close to 75%. So I'll make up 1/4 of the black and add that amount, the rest, the 75%, into each colour. So, but that would just mean I'll have a little bit more colour through it. But you need the black for contrast. Well, you need a dark colour for contrast. So, and I do like black artwork. Now all I'm doing is just running my palette knife under the edge and getting all these drips off, because it will keep pulling the paint. I'm used to having a paper towel with me, but I haven't got one. So that's about it. Do I torch this? I may do. Sometimes I actually was supposed to torch it before I started tilting, once I'd done the two rings, but I forgot. So I'm going to torch now. So I'm just getting rid of the bubbles, but it is bringing up little specks of colour in it. So the colour from underneath, when the bubbles popped, has put like tiny little white and blue dots, but that's fine. I actually don't mind that. I find you don't notice it from a distance, but you notice it close up. Adds a little bit more difference and dimension. And I'm going to have to get this out. A piece of hair. I could see it in there and it was going to bug me. Alrighty, that's this one done, everyone. What do you guys think? I'm loving these lines coming through, and this circle's quite good. So as it dries, the colours will slightly alter a little bit. The blue, the lighter blue is an opaque, the white is opaque, and the black is opaque. The only transparent is this phthalo blue, which isn't so dominant in this artwork anyway. I think it kind of gets blended with the black. So that's why I would reduce it and reduce the black just to bring more colour into it. But I like this. Now my biggest challenge is going to be working out once it's dry which way to hang it. So I'm going to bring the camera down for a close-up. Okay, so there we go. The colours aren't 100% accurate in the camera. It's a little bit more blue. The blues actually stand out a bit more. But you've got this nice ring over here. You've got a line that runs through from where the two rings met. And you've got all these rings over here, or half rings over there. So let's have a look at these first, because they're the cool ones. See how they kind of streak through and then come up to here. They give really nice effects. Sorry about the reflection. Then you've got this ring here, which is a solid ring, but it's more blue over here and quite white over there. And the rings come all the way. They kind of join up both paintings. A little bit less up there, but there is rings in here. Yeah, there you go. So there is rings in there. They just don't show up when I lift the camera up from a distance. But there you go. I like this. This is cool. So let me know what you think. So like, comment, share and subscribe if you haven't already. Doesn't cost anything and it helps me out to grow my channel a bit more. And I get to teach more different things. So thanks very much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time for another pour. Okay, bye.